Yo, welcome to another episode of Sports Time with Mai. We have a very special guest for you today. We're taking it back to the city. 7 Mile and Ryan, former Detroit Pershing Doughboy, all MAC at Western Michigan University. And then we crossed the pond over to Germany as he is a professional basketball player. I'm here with Demetrius Ward today, y'all. Very special guest. Y'all stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe below.
Whether you in a car, room, office, or tomb, Byron in the morning got to talk for all the news. Sports talking, we talking sports often. I'm thinking Brady deflating and Jeter fused with Boston. Now that Kobe retired, I'm thinking Kobe for office. Also accepting NBA checks, I'm taking office from Detroit right to the big leagues, the big screen where we prove that we on big things. I'm doing what I want, I keep on looking at this dream, thinking I wanna know.
Go ahead and let you get right into it since I know, like I said, you got a lot of going on right now. But I got a very special guest here, everybody. I'm here with Demetrius Ward, former Detroit Pershing Doughboy, Western Michigan, all MAC, now playing professional in Germany. Demetrius, man, thanks for joining, boss.
Oh, no problem, man. Anytime.
I just want to let's get into it first. I mean, I want to know about the journey that you have had getting to where you are today. I know it starts back in Detroit, Michigan. What player did you watch growing up the most? Who'd you kind of mold your game after?
Oh, that's a good question. We all started at Reach, and Reach, it was always, we had these NBA names, and I was a lot bigger than everybody else at the time, so I was Dell Davis. But like the person to watch, was Deion Harris. He was like one of the best. They used to call him Scottie Pippen. He was like one of the best, if not the best, to come out of, Reach. Him and Shad. Shad was a lot older, so I would say those two. They both handle the ball well. Shad can shoot the hell out the ball, can score it at a very high level. And, Deion, he was, very quiet, but very skilled and fundamental. And, just watching those two, just motivated me to, just work hard and continue to, just have fun with it at the same time.
Yeah, definitely trying to stay on that fine line. And Deion, like you said, out of Detroit Redford. What age do you kind of remember picking up the ball for the first time and kind of falling in love with it?
Man, I started real late. I think I was about 11, 12, maybe 10, 11, I would say, around that age. My brother played ball. It was just always like Michael Jordan. It started with the shoes, and then, everybody know Michael Jordan, but we really didn't know of him, really didn't lock into it. But then once I got into Reach and the competitive nature and how they, made basketball so fun, on top of teaching us, things off the court, life, becoming man, the character wise. So they made it fun, and they also taught us, and they always had our attention. So I would say around 10, 12, once I picked it up, I got into it and I fell in love with it.
Shout out to Verge Phillips, man, and that Reach program, like you said, teaching on and off the court lessons, I thought was very important when we was growing up. Kind of talk about that competitive nature, though, that was at Reach. Like you said, Rashad Phillips, Deion Harris, Reach was always producing good basketball players. And kind of talk about how that just kind of helped mold your game to stay hungry.
It was, because it was just all, kids from the inner city. And, just to stay out of trouble. That's how it all started. It was always, a lot of players there. So it was hard to get on the court and stay on the court. So it's we always did drills, and at the end we played. And then it was I think it was 5 minutes on the clock. And if you're down by 10, you automatic lose. Or is it 10-0, you automatic lose? Or it went to at the end of the day, it was an all-star game. If you got selected, that was of your week. And you talked about that all throughout school. So they made it, man. Like I said, they made it very interesting and made it, they caught our attention and made us want to work. And, everybody was talking trash. I made the All-Star game. You didn't. Your name is this. You that NBA player. And, it was just always fun.
Yeah, good energy, and it's never a quiet gym at the Reach. Always
Never,
a loud gym
never.
pushing you, like you said. When did you have a choice of which high school you wanted to go to, or because of zoning, you kind of Detroit Pershing was your neighborhood default school?
I never thought I'd go to Persian, even though I live 5 minutes away from it. But like just uh yeah, with the people from Reach, they were trustworthy. Canada Waddell, Coach Mark, felt it was like the best situation for me. And they had what's best at heart. I knew them from like elementary on to high school, going up to high school. So yeah, just being around people that you trust and family oriented. And I knew that I knew other people that was going to the school, so I felt very welcome there.
What was that first practice like at Detroit Pershing? Because you came right around the time when Coach Canada was just getting in there at the P. What was that like? That first day on the line.
Right. I started off at JV. I was with Waddell for a minute. I think I was the only dude that almost got kicked out of a tryout. He told me to stop shooting. He told me to pass the ball. But like towards the end, going into like varsity, that first practice was tough. Seniors was Jabari Curry, Dre Ricks. Who else? Tyson, I think. It was some good people, but just Jabari and Dre was the top of my head. I think Mike Pope was also there.
Yep.
Where he maybe graduated a year.
PD was a junior.
Yeah, but it was tough. PD was there. PD was a junior that year, but it was tough. A lot of running. The players were stronger, faster, pretty athletic. But it took some like after a few weeks, I got used to it.
Yeah, and you had a very, very great career at Detroit Persian. Like you said, started off on JV, but worked your way all the way up to varsity. And like I said, before A-Dub came back, it was kind of a little break in there for Detroit Persian greatness. Kind of talk about that first time y'all got to the PSL championship, 2005. You were a little younger here still, but
Right.
you tasted it for the first time. What was that like?
Man, it was a crazy experience. Everybody always wanted to get to Kobo. We got there, and we made it to the last game. Unfortunately, it didn't go like as well as we planned it. But that experience was unbelievable. Like to see the whole city down there watching you, supporting. The teachers came out to support. And at a very young age, I really ain't know like going into it how serious it was. I just heard stories about it, but that atmosphere was crazy. And what I'm saying, it's also something that you'll always remember. And I think that was like the end of my freshman year, going into sophomore year. And I was on the bench and we dressed. We did a little layup line. I'm like, yo, I didn't get in, but it was, it's still a nice experience.
Yeah,
I
and
enjoyed it.
had you ready for the next time y'all made that run. And I see, I did a little online looking to kind of see what the streets got to say about you. When it comes to top 10 Persian players in the last decade, a lot of lists got you at number 3 for your very successful career. And when I think about, Demetrius Ward at Persian, I think about the game-winning shot against Romulus in that 2008 semifinals. Talk about that game was big for you because you also slammed on somebody too.
Oh yeah,
That's the same game you dunked on my man's on the baseline.
man. He's doing pretty good right now, man. Shout out to Will Clyburn. But yeah, that was because I think Romulus got us early in the year.
Yeah.
I think at Romulus, and we always had like a little rivalry with them. I guess it started with the guy that ended up going to Michigan. I forgot. What's his name? He's
guard,
like
yeah.
It was a little, Dominic Buckley, Rashard Porter, went to school with him. We grew up together. So it was always, some type of little rivalry.
And they had Nate Oates over there coaching, and it was a pretty decent coaching staff, yeah.
Yeah. So it was, they played hard. I think they beat us in the summer league and also one time throughout the regular season.
Yeah,
or maybe we got them. I'm not sure. Yeah, they got us.
At Romulus.
So we knew what we wanted to do, and we went out there and we played. Went into overtime. We fought back in the fourth quarter. I think we was down like 8 or something.
Y'all were down 15 at half.
Yeah, we kept fighting.
Going into the fourth.
Stuck together, man. We end up bringing it together, and the team trusted me to take that shot, and I took it, and it failed.
you had no signs of passing the rock though, which is the funniest part about it to me. That team is extremely stacked with a bunch of players. I mean, that team is loaded.
That was my senior year. I'm going out. We going out. We going out on my turn. But yeah, I was always told that a shot is better than a turnover. So if I would have missed it, we would have won in overtime. If I would have tried to pass, turn it over, maybe they would have got a chance to. We would have did something stupid. So I ended up just shooting it. It failed.
And talk about that season. If you have an opportunity to look back, I know you've been grinding so much, you probably don't get a chance to go down memory lane too much, but y'all made some noise nationally that those two years, 21-4, y'all were ranked top teams in the country. I mean, Juwan Howard, you, Keith Applin, Derek Nix, you had 1-800, Dennis Perry, Deion Dismuke. I mean, Eugene Davis. That team was just stacked. Kind of just talk about that. Ramon McAfee, all of them.
Yeah, you also forgot T-Hop, Terrence Hopkins.
Yeah, T-Hop.
Beginning, he started off with Redford in the beginning, got him a little city championship, raw talent. We had so many weapons, and the thing is, we all glued together. There was no egos. We knew that what Keith could do. We know what Derek could do. We knew what I can do. Tay, Dismuke, Tevin Conrad. We had Tay Bailey. We had Brandon Perry. We had so many different weapons, and everybody knew their job. And the thing is, with that group, it was just like, man, we all supported each other. There was no hating. We all wanted each other to succeed, and we all bought into what Canada was saying. So I think the most important part was this, just rocking with each other and trusting and supporting each other if they shining or not. I don't think like somebody led us in scoring at the same, like each game. Keith probably led us in scoring, but it wasn't every game.
Yeah.
It was the same thing. Like sometimes Knicks had it going, I had it going, and it was just like we was feeding, we was rocking out with whoever had it going at the time.
And talk about how competitive those practices used to be.
Oh, man.
Those practices, I was there firsthand, and you know how A-Dub and Waddell like to do. They'll split up teams, or they'll put you with all the bench players, or they'll throw Keith with all the bench players. But like you said, everybody held each other accountable, and those practices had to be harder than the games.
Man, it started in the second hour. We all had gym class second hour, and it all started there. We was hooping. It was always 5-on-5. Sometimes it was juniors versus seniors, or seniors versus everybody else. But it started in that second hour. Everybody was, man, it was hella competitive, but it was all love once we got out of the off the court. And then it translated into practice, where we held each other accountable. If you're not touching the line, she'll touch the damn line. And it started with the coaching staff, man. They brought us to become men, doing the right thing, working hard. It wasn't always easy. We had our struggles, but, we stuck together and we uplifted each other.
And that was always special to see. I mean, as a younger guy watching, I've never seen another teammate call another teammate, like you said, for not touching the lines, or if we running around the court, no cutting the corners. And you guys used to legitimately call people out for that. Touch the line on the 646, make sure you get all the way down there. And like you said, it seems so small and little and nitpicky, but it did definitely, prepare y'all for the turf journey y'all had ahead.
For sure.
Talk about that finals matchup. Y'all met up against a very good Saginaw team that not only had Draymond, but had a ton of other players there as well. Talk about that. That was your first time in the state finals since like 2000. And was it a lot? Was it a lot at one time for you, looking back?
No, not at all. Not for me personally. I don't think, but We just, man, we ain't hit shots. They
Nah,
hit shots. We didn't hit shots. We turned the ball over. And we weren't there. Maybe Maybe we was burnt out from the day before where we put all that energy and effort, like you said, we was down 15 and a half, didn't fall all the way back. Yeah, maybe we was burnt out. But yeah, credit to Saginaw also. You know what I'm saying? I think was it Mike Green that hit all them damn threes?
killing you.
He went off. West went off.
West went
Yeah,
off.
they went off for 20 and 20 or something. Yeah. Yeah, they earned that, but we got it the year after. You know
I
what
was
I'm
about to ask you that. How did that feel? So like, even though you weren't on that team the year after, did you feel like you was a part of that though? Because you helped them get to that mountain.
Oh yeah, for sure. It was just like Saginaw won it the year before, so they were one more experienced. They were more experienced. They knew what it took, and it was the same year. Ramlis made it. I think it was Ramlis or Kalamazoo. Ramlis or Kalamazoo made it, and they didn't have that thing, and that's when like Keith went off for his 50 points.
Yeah, Kalamazoo.
But yeah, man, I definitely feel a part of that. Like we all got it. So that's
One
the
for
big
all.
thing right there for me.
And what so after your, like I said, very great high school year at Pershing, you got a lot of young guys coming in after you graduate. You go ahead and head over to Western Michigan and immediately got playing time. You weren't a guy that went there and redshirted, played in 30 games your first 60 games your first 2 years. Kind of talk about that adjustment from high school to D1 MAC basketball.
And it was a big difference because I was just starting to feel like really confident coming from Persian. Like after like my senior year, I had like some good years, and then to come in like to reestablish myself over. Like I honest to God, I thought I was going one and done.
Yeah.
Then I get to practice. I'm like, all right, I'm keeping up with them. Physically, it was a little fast, but I got used to it. I think I was killing in practice, and then like the first game, I got like zero plus minutes on the scout report. I was like, oh, hell no. I'm out. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
But Canada was like, man, you ain't going nowhere. It's like, man, you made that commitment. You sticking to it. So I stuck to it, and I played in every game. I never got a DNP. I always played,
Yeah.
and then it's just like the way I looked at things. I realized like it was like seniority where like they earned that. And I just thought I was just gonna come in and, you know what I'm saying, start. And I didn't realize how things work. So it took me some time to get used to that. And then once I got used to it, you know what I'm saying, I adjusted well.
Yes, you did. Your junior year, first team all MAC, shot 40% from the field, averaged 14, 15 points a game, 4 to 5 rebounds. You finally, like you said, got that chance, and you started every game that season, and you showed out. Kind of talk about that year where you just kind of reestablished that confidence that you had after your junior year at Pershing. You kind of felt like you were ready again.
Yeah, man, I had a great summer that year. After my sophomore year, I had a great summer. I dominated the whole workout, summer workouts, just cooking. Then unfortunately, I got injured, so I had to sit out most of preseason, and then I never got that rhythm back. And then like that summer going into it, I grinded, was through everything, and I got that confidence back and that respect from the teammates because I was there the whole time. The summer before, not even the preseason before, I was just always in the training room doing my own stuff, so that camaraderie wasn't there. So I felt like something was missing. So then, like the junior year, everything was there. Everything happened. I was working. Shots was falling. You know, defense was there. I think we won the MAC West. We did pretty good in the conference tournament too, also.
Yeah, had a very successful year, 8 20-point games. And I just remember watching all the Western Michigan games, and Demetrius Ward was putting on the show. And like you said, just consistently asserting yourself. And back then, more of a slasher, getting to the basket.
Right.
And then you had a successful senior year. You know, you played in over 1,000+ games. And just how was that experience at Western Michigan for you? Like you said, you thought you'd be a guy going in with the expectations of one and done. You end
Right.
up doing 4 years at Western, playing 1,000+ games, and you know, one of the better players.
Um, yeah, you know, you got to make adjustments. Obviously, like I said, I didn't go one and done. It didn't work out that well. I ended up staying 4 years, got a degree, you know, take the positives with it. Met some good people along the way, built some good relationships, learned a lot from Coach Hawk and the coaching staff, Bakari, you know, Rick Carter, Andy Hipsher, Coach Farmer, built some good relationships there. And, you know, everything happened for a reason. And I think that was part of my journey to get me where I'm at today. And, you know, I'm thankful for it. You know, I wasn't ready mentally for that challenge. And, you know what I'm saying, it took me, you know, those extra years to mentally grow as a man and as a player also.
To
So
get
I'm
you ready
thankful
for those
the
blessings that was
situation.
coming. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty thankful and grateful for the situation and how everything turned out.
So after Western Michigan, you know, you get done, and what were kind of your options, you know, when you finished at Western? This is before the 5th-year grad transfer thing was really, people were really doing that back then. So what were kind of your options going into, you know, finishing college?
Yeah, I was on pace to graduate in the summer. I just had like one more like math class to go. And I always wanted to like play overseas and play professional. I just didn't know how to go about that route. But I was also asked if I wanted to play football for a 5th year. Coach was interested. I don't know how serious he was, but he asked because I always gets like, man, I love your body. I think you'll be good. You know, I don't know whatever position. But I'm like,
Okay.
yeah. I don't know anything about football. I didn't feel comfortable with a helmet on. So I ended up getting an agent, and then I ended up going over to Germany like late in November. And you know, it was history after that. Like the first year wasn't um, as easy. It was like my first time being overseas. After the first week, I was ready to go home. I'm like, yeah, this ain't for me. But then I always remember what Canada said, you know, you made that commitment, stick it out. So I'm like, I'm gonna finish it out. We made it to the playoffs. It was, you know, awesome. I decided to come back, and you know, it's been like that ever since.
And just stick through that tough time. What was that adjustment different than the one you felt from Persian to Mac? The adjustment to the professional league over in Germany?
Oh yeah, 100%. Because it's thousands of miles away from home. You don't know nobody. That time, like I didn't have a cell phone, so once I left the house, I'm like, damn, I can't text nobody. The food was different. Like people look at you differently. But I was blessed enough to have like 4 other Americans also rookies, and they made
Okay.
it a lot easier for us because it was 2 of us from the Midwest, one from the East Coast, one from the West Coast. So we all, you know what I'm saying, we linked in and we locked in and we had a good time. We made the best of that situation, but it wasn't like easy at all. I definitely would say transitioning from the MAC, from Persian to the MAC was a lot easier.
And was the game itself a little different for you? I know you always talk about the difference playing overseas than it is playing in America. You went right into Group B over there in Germany. What was that like?
The rules are different. Like 8 seconds, you know, after 5 fouls, you shoot 2 free throws instead of like 1 and 1. You can't call timeouts like on live ball situations, can't call timeouts. So it took some adjustments to get you can grab the ball off the rim. I think the 3-point line was a little closer in, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe a little further out, not 100% sure, but the style of play was like slower but more physical, and it was like skill set. It wasn't more like up and down, you know what I'm saying? It was more of a more structure.
And then after your 3 years over in Group B, you went ahead and leveled up, went over to Uni Baskets,
Yeah.
and just finished your 3 years there in Group A.
Yeah.
What was that experience like? I see you had a very successful last 2 years. It looks like you're finding that comfort again. Efficiency is higher, shooting percentage is higher, and you get some teammates involved. I see you out here with some of these passes.
Yeah. Yeah. Coming from like the Pro B to the Pro A was not difficult, but it was a new journey. I was playing the point. Like I really ain't played the point that much. I'm more of like off ball,
Yeah.
but good in like pick and rolls to find my teammates. But like each year I gotten better. And like the year after, the second year in Paderborn, my coach from the Pro B came. So I knew him. We had a relationship beforehand. We trusted each other. He knew what I can do. I knew what I can do. And he just, you know what I'm saying? Just like the older I get, the slower the game became. And I understood what was a good shot, what wasn't a good shot, when to take a shot, when not to take a shot. And just like the summer preparation was also a lot better. So I got up a lot of shots that I needed to work on, the shots that I know that I was going to take in the game. So that's what I was focusing on like the previous year.
So now you were point guard playing on Group A in Germany. Like you said, you've always been mostly an off-ball player. How did you adjust to the point guard spot? Did you like that a little bit? Like I said, your stats got better and you seemed more efficient, but on your side of things, how was it?
It was cool. I actually like this past season, shit, I was the 4 most of the time. Like we had a lot of injuries, so I played the 4. But I will also be like the backup point. So it was like guarding the 4-man on defense, but help bringing the ball up. But I was in most of the pick and roll. So, you know what I'm saying? It played to our advantage because I was strong enough to guard the 4s. And I also my team did a good job of helping me when I needed help, like in the post or struggling to rebound. They did a good job helping out. But just having the ball in your hands, it felt good because the team trusts you to get them open shots. And whenever I was able to get a shot, I was able to make it work.
And what's that off-season preparation for you? How do you really hone in on what you want to focus on for the summer?
Just focus on the shots that I struggled with, or maybe like a defensive assignment. But more or less, it's just like a lot of reps, getting a lot of reps, working on footwork, getting to your spots. Well, my spots where I'm gonna be at, I'm a lot bigger than some of the guards, so just getting in the post a little bit, some jump hooks, turnaround jumpers, floaters, little things like that, and then just on certain days, just trying to get up 1,000 shots, making the most that I can, shooting while I'm tired, like little things like that. It's muscle memory, but just trying to grind on what you struggled with the previous year.
And as you are eclipsing the big 3-0, what's next for you over there in Germany? Are you returning back to Pepperdine, or are you moving on?
I left. I'm starting a new journey in the same league with the Dragons. They was first league for a minute. They moved down to the second league. Yeah, I signed a 2-year deal there. We got a good team, young team. But I like what the coach was talking about, and I'm really excited to see how it goes this upcoming season.
Okay. When do your guys' season start?
The first game, September 18th. We start preseason in 2 weeks, August 1st. So things getting
things are ramping up right now. This is that off-season go time right now. Are you going back to number 5, or are you rocking with the 95 again?
Man, I done switched it up, man. I'm either going 45 or 32.
What's the
45 or 32, man? I had to switch it
45
up.
or 32? Okay, what's the 2 reasons behind those 2 numbers? Any just random?
45 was for I think we won the league when I was a player coach. So I had 45 and 32. It was just like, man, I know my boy keep going through some stuff at the moment, so I just wanted to get that 32 for him back in high school.
One of the best with that.
Thoughts and prayers go out to him. Hopefully he gets, you know what I'm saying, things turn out for the best.
Yes, sir.
So those was the 2, either or.
And I almost forgot about your Bill Russell over there. I remember hearing about the player coach over there. Talk about that, Bill. German Bill Russell over here.
That's what's up, man.
That's awesome, man. So you start in 2 weeks, gearing up for your season, man. And I just want to say thank you and good luck this season. I'm gonna be watching. I know I usually watch the highlights on YouTube. Are you able to watch any of your games live?
Yeah, it's usually like Sports Dutchland. I send you the link for sure.
Perfect. Okay, great. So I can get that out there, man. And season number, what season is over there for you? Season number 10?
Season.
10th season, and you're not slowing down. It doesn't sound like. You said 2-year deal. So
Right.
best of luck and best of wishes going into this season, man. And I appreciate you.
Oh, no problem, man. Thanks.
When I was 16, Big Ben, he thought up here immensely. AB with a quick feet.